millions of vulnerable Americans struggle to get reliable transportation to their medical appointments. That's why I started MedHall. Citi launched the Impact Fund to invest in both women and entrepreneurs of color like me so I can realize my vision and give everything I've got to my company and my community. I got you.
For the love of people, for the love of community, for the love of progress. Citi.
Welcome to the Paley Front Row presented by Citi. I am Damian Holbrook of TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider, and I am delighted to be your host for this special conversation celebrating home economics, a show that deserves to be celebrated. Today we are thrilled to welcome the members of the series' gifted cast and the creative team. Joining us are Topher Grace, who plays Tom and is also an executive producer on the series, Caitlin McGee, who plays Sarah, Jimmy Tatro, who plays Connor, Karla Souza, who plays Marina, Sasheer Zamata, who plays Denise, and Michael Colton, the creator, writer, and executive producer, and John Aboud, who's creator, writer, and executive producer also. So welcome everyone watching. Thank you so much for being here, and please don't forget to subscribe to the Paley Center's YouTube channel at the link below. And now let's start our program. So, all right, congratulations, guys. I'm such a fan. I was a fan of this show from day one, so I'm so excited to be here. And I know I've talked with a bunch of you over the last season and a half. But John and Michael, this started as, loosely inspired by Michael's family. John, have you started to slip in parts of your family into the narrative?
Absolutely not, and I don't intend to. No. I feel that Mike has more than enough. We'll be mining his family and their dysfunction for seasons to come. I can just coast. I can just sit back.
It's funny. The other day there was some discussion with one of the writers about something, and I was dug in on something or whatever. And John,
surprise.
Yeah, but John told me he was texting with the writer and was just explaining our different styles. And I don't even remember this, but you were like, I once had dinner with Mike's family, and I immediately was like, oh, now I see how he is the way he is. This was like what, 19?
This was New Year's Eve at the Millennium. So this was like 99 into 2000. We're in Boston. I go to the Colton homestead in outside Boston, and the entire family was there. And I swear to God, in that crowd, in order to get a word in edgewise, you just have to shout. You heard everybody's like, I just found the corner jigsaw piece to this guy. I understand now everything. You have to fight to survive.
Right. Okay. All right. So, Michael, how often do you hear from your family saying like, oh, you've got to tell this story, or better yet, like, you cannot tell this story?
Well, I haven't gotten the latter too often. I think the former I get a lot, especially like from nieces and nephews who are pitching it. Is after season one of my nieces was like wanted to be determined that Matt Damon was actually related to the family, and so he could come back as a member. But I have actually a third sibling. There's four of us. Okay. I have the brother who Connor's based on, the sister who Sarah's based on. I have another brother who's older who just didn't fit neatly into the upper, middle, lower economic divisions. So his family's always pitching like, hey, work for Brady Bunch. What if they discover they get a long lost brother? It's like, when we run out of ideas, season 5, maybe we'll do that. And then on my twin brother, I actually have a twin brother who Connor's based on. They're not divorced in real life. He's married. And so his wife is always like, why do we have to be divorced? What are you saying about us? She hasn't quite wrapped her head around that.
Michael, your family has been on the show. You can tell,
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Did you guys hit up his mother for any backstories that he hasn't shared yet?
I mean, she was very willing to tell all the embarrassing stories. Like if we had just been like, hey, Ellen, could you give us some dirt? She would have been like, which one? Like, what do you want? Yeah. But I don't think I took full advantage of that. I should have.
Well, it's also funny, like Caitlin and I, turns out we're from the same hometown. So I went to her wedding and met her parents, and her dad did casting for Spencer for Hire, which my mother did some work on. So it's like there's a lot of connections there. We go way back, the McGee Club.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mike, you told me that when your dad talks to you about the show, he doesn't refer to the characters by name. He refers to them by their name, their equivalent in the family.
he can't keep track. So he goes, yeah, last night I thought Jill was really funny. Jill is my sister. Character Sarah, but sure. And he thinks, I mean, I never really saw it, but he's like, he thinks Connor he's like, oh, he looks just like Brian in the same mannerisms. And I think that's being generous to my brother, but sure.
Oh. And I'm assuming the actors have met their counterparts, correct?
No, well, because of COVID, like we can't bring people on set. And at some point, the only person they've met is my mother, who Nora Dunn is based on. And of course, when she was cast, my mother's like, why can't I play that? Why can't I play Tom's mother? And it's like, it's a little too close for comfort.
So, all right. So John and Michael.
Sorry. One thing. Karla has met my wife, who Karla's based on, who's also named Karla, but with a C, and they got along great. So
that's the only reason I was cast, is because I named Karla.
And now, Topher, Michael, and John, when casting this, how do you go about casting your siblings, and yourself?
Well, Topher,
it helps to have a clear idea. It was definitely sort of a clear idea.
No, Topher, he came on board right at the start, and at first I wasn't, didn't have him in my head as the character, but I feel like
he said to me, I always thought this would be Brad Pitt, but I guess it would be you.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like as I've gotten to know you, I think we're more alike than I thought at the beginning, and I found a lot of the commonalities. But everybody else, I definitely had people in mind based on the real family, but it ultimately was like when they came in and blew us away, it didn't matter. Like, for instance, Connor, Jimmy is much younger than we envisioned for the character, but when Jimmy came in, it was like, we'll just adjust the role. We originally wanted Tom to be in the middle because it fit into that middle upper.
It was actually, I think it was Mike. It was Caitlin. Was
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sorry, Caitlin was supposed to be.
Sarah was the oldest.
And Tom was in the middle. Because we wanted Tom in the middle, and it just when Caitlin came in, it was like, well, obviously we just ship the characters around. You write to whoever you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Amy, let me tell you how great and egoless I am as an actor. That I was able to. Let me tell you about it. I was able to say, sure, I'll be by far the oldest person on the show. Not how I originally read that script, but I remember when Caitlin came in. I mean, I have such fond memories of. To me, I felt like I'd been on a winning kind of sports team before, and I was like, oh man, like I want to feel that kind of chemistry. So I really wanted to be there, and then. Really, it's watching the hundreds of other people that came in who weren't knocking it out of the park. And then to watch these guys come in and just like Caitlin gave a read that was crazy. Jimmy, oh my God. I mean, some of you guys are just so unbelievable. It's like I get to like stock my own sports team and then just fan out every day.
Well, that's the greatest thing about this show is that like there's no weak player. Like every character, every family member I'm rooting for, it's so easy to love this show because these characters are so well written, but you can't write chemistry. You just can't. So, but this cast works so well together. When did you guys start to realize, much like what Topher was just saying, like thinking, oh God, we've really caught lightning in a bottle here?
I think that we had a unique opportunity in that with the long delay, because of COVID and all of the precautions that had to be put into place before production would be safe again, like everyone had a chance to really think about that pilot and to think about the script and inhabit the character. So when everyone showed up, it was very quick. It happened. We were shooting for about a week or so, and right away, day 2, day 3, you're like, it's like they've known each other forever. It's like a season 3, kind of.
I had this feeling where I was nervous driving to work, and 48 hours in, I was cocky. I'd gone totally to the other end because I thought, oh my, like the star of the show is the connection of these 5 people, and
right. If you don't have that, we're not buying it.
Yeah, but it's like in dating where, you try to set 2 friends up or you get set up and I thought those people would go great together. You really don't know until you show up.
I'd also add that, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just that I think we were in a unique position to shoot during the pandemic, and you guys were like some of the few people I saw because we couldn't see many people at all. So there was a kind of a camp aspect to it. Like we're in this stage situation where we're the only ones there. We're the only production happening there, and you just come to work and then like get to be with this family and then go home to your real family. But like for a while, that was it. And I think that really made us bond quicker.
And Jimmy, I feel like, Jimmy, you might have the toughest role within the family because this is a character that we need to sympathize with, but he's the richest one. Right. You know, like, but this guy, he's so sweet and he's so generous. Do you know anyone like this? Because he's so convincingly kind.
I'm going to answer this. Jimmy is so sweet and so generous. That's true.
I think
can you imagine anybody being that sweet? Is that
right?
Oh man,
you're clearly a monster. So who is this person?
I think, like, I don't know, with a role like this, it's on paper, you know, he's the rich douchebag, and I think, like, you know, it would be very easy to just fall into like being kind of a guy that's hard to sympathize with. So you just got to play up the nice aspects because those other characteristics are already there regardless. So if you play those up, it's just going to be overkill. So you just got to play the nicer version of the guy.
Like, that only unbelievable thing about this show is like he would not be single for very long. Like, this man is a catch.
Well, guys, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say here.
Just keep watching, Damian.
On the market for very long.
Okay. Jimmy, I think you told me during the pilot when you were like telling your family about what the script's about and who your character was, they were like, "Wait, did you write this, Jimmy?" Like,
I know. My mom was like, I told her the concept, and she was like, "Did you write that?" I'm like, "No, Mom, I didn't write it." She was like, "Huh." I was like,
"Oh, wow."
She was like, "Who do you play?" I was like, "I play the one who has the money." And she was like, "Huh." You didn't write it? I was like, "Mom, no, I didn't write
it." Nice, the stamp of approval. How difficult was that Iron Man costume?
Oh man.
Sorry, who are you talking to?
Those two levels of difficulty, very different.
I was so bummed that, when I saw Jimmy's costume, I got so bummed, like my character. It was like, right. And then once I saw Jimmy in it for one day, I went, I got the better deal.
Yeah, that doesn't look like something you can just take off and relax in a director's chair.
No, I had like a team. Well, I couldn't sit down because the knees didn't bend that far. So I had like a stool that I would lean on. And I realized like a few hours in, I was like, this isn't taking any of the weight off because it's all resting on the shoulders. So I was like, they were like, well, how do we take the weight off? I was like, I need crutches. So they would like bring these crutches over and I would just be like in this like stool, just. And I think one time I was like, I need to lay down. And it took like 5 people. I had a team of like 3 people around me to like make sure I was good. And they were the wardrobe team really just, they're the MVPs. They made my life so much easier. It could have been so much more miserable. So shout out to Kat and Melissa and Sarah and Gilbert for just being so great. But at one point I was able to lie down and it took like 5 people to slowly, because I couldn't bend. So they had to slowly lay me down. And I was just on the table with my legs up on Apple Box.
Oh my God.
I have never seen Jimmy as excited as the day he tried it on. Like a bunch of us went down to watch and then we went on the set. I posted some of it online. He's just like doing all his Marvel moves. It was great.
Nice. And now, so that Halloween episode also, if people just dropped into the show at that episode, I feel like it would also tell them everything they need to know about Sarah.
Yes, 100%.
Based on her Halloween costume choice. So Caitlin, she's
so thinking she's a superhero. Yeah.
But Sarah is so woke. And also her cooking choices are horrifying. what is the challenge there of keeping this character super relatable without it being like mockery of people like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, it's tricky because it's very outward that no one wants to be around her in a lot of circumstances. Like people are like, I wish you would shut up for 1 second. So I think honestly, just really trying to ground that, because it is based in, I mean, honestly, I agree with 99% of Sarah's choices. I'm not vegan, but I agree with like her the way that she sees the world. It's just her delivery that gets a little tricky to sort of keep her relatable, as a sense of like, oh, her family actually wants to be around her. Her wife isn't going to leave her and that sort of thing, because she's heavy-handed, but you have to add humor to that. And also just like, she has to be self-aware. If she wasn't self-aware, it would be tough. But I think adding that in there makes her more fun to be around, because she is right a lot of the time.
Okay, so I asked Topher.
It actually goes back to what you were talking about with casting, which I think equal parts. It's like I get to play the, it's like Goldilocks. Do you know what I mean? Like one porridge was too hot, one porridge was too cold, and so I get the job of just kind of being in the center. But when we were reading both Caitlin and Jimmy's characters, I just thought, you know, they're both just so, I really sat back like a fan. I mean, I remember because they tape them, so you actually watch them over and over again. And like, there's no way to hate Caitlin. It's impossible. Like you just, you know, yes, she's right. She has some of the same beliefs that Sarah has, not all of them, but you can't hate Caitlin. I spend every day with her now.
They'll try. We try every day to hate her.
Try really hard to hate me. Yeah.
I do think
she's so funny. She's so such a good person. And the same thing's true with Jimmy. I remember sitting there wondering kind of if we could find those people, and then it's very rare. And we got really, really lucky.
Topher, I asked for in TV Guide magazine. I asked him what would Tom be like if he had Connor money. But Caitlin, what would Sarah be like if she came into Connor money?
You know, I would have said that she probably would have donated a good amount of it before. I think she still probably would have, because I don't think she's any less of a socialist if she has money. But there was one episode where she gets pretty excited about a luxury item. So I don't know. She'd
get that luxury item.
She'd probably get a Tesla. I feel like she would get like something that's eco-friendly, but also luxury. But speaking to what Topher was saying, I really do think that all of us are able to make really strong choices because the 5 of us balance each other out. Like I'm only able to make bigger choices because Sarah is half of Denise and Sarah. And so when Denise has these moments of being like really caught up and being, you know, obsessed with Emily, which is my favorite part of maybe the entire show, when Sasheer gets to just be giddy over Connor's ex-wife. But like, that's only able to happen because the 5 of us balance each other out. I just had my first episode where I got to have like a big storyline with Karla, and it was just so much fun because Marina and Sarah haven't spent a lot of time together. So seeing like the sister-in-law dynamic, it only works because when one person is a lot, the other person takes a back seat and vice versa. It's all sort of like all of us tipping the scales all the time.
Oh my God, Caitlin, talking about balancing out. If I didn't have Karla, good Lord.
Oh my God. Well, let's talk about the in-laws, because Sasheer and Karla, you guys realize that you're like the Marilyn Munsters of this family.
No, wasn't that? Oh, that's the Munsters. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
I thought you said Marilyn Manson.
There was one girl that's normal.
They're absolutely the Marilyn Munsters of this family. Like they're the normal ones that I love. Like they're kind of like the audience watching this family, but also they have their own level of weirdness as well.
Wait, yeah, Karla.
Everyone Marilyn Munster. Oh.
Every once in a while, Damian, with a reference, we see Karla go into a corner and Google something. She's not from America originally.
That is amazing.
No, it's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Yeah, and I love the fact. I love, you know, you planted the seeds of this little side hustle of a friendship that these two have. Karla, I love that people are seeing you, because I think most American viewers are still like they think of, you know, I know what you did, I know what you did last summer. No, How to Get Away with Murder. Very long titles. But I feel, but you're like the stealth secret weapon because you're hilarious, and I don't think anyone expected you to be this funny. Was it hard for you to convince them? Like, no, I do comedy.
Oh gosh, I don't think I wasn't thinking about convincing anyone, to be honest. What I was hoping is to just keep my job, and like, have, I guess, make this person feel real to me as well, to like actually convince myself that I, that I belong next to all these amazing comedians that I know that they've all done, both drama and comedy, but I've seen a lot of them do really great stuff. So it was very intimidating to be sort of it being the first thing that I did comedy wise, like you said, in the US in English. I was seeing just how brilliant they were at like just bringing alts and like the musicality of it, and how you have to, it's actually so much harder than drama ever has been for me, like the comedy and the timing and the just finding the right, like each scene you have to bring something different, you have to notice who's carrying that scene, who's the weird person in that scene. Like there's just so much more that I don't even think about in drama, like genuinely. So I've found it so much harder to do comedy, but at the same time that much more rewarding, and also just nice to come to work and laugh. Although I will say that it is more painful when you don't get a laugh, because it's, it's immediate, versus in drama, like you don't really know whether the moment, the dramatic moment is happening or not, because I don't know, you kind of feel like a silence, but you don't really get a reaction. Whereas with comedy, you really do hear the little chuckles on the side, or with us, because of COVID, you pretty much don't get the feeling of this audience as much as we, tend to, we tended to before COVID. But yeah, I've definitely learned so much from them, from them, and also asking them for advice in terms of choices that I sometimes need to make. Sorry, I'm dying here.
Good bit, it's comedy bit as a comedy bit.
We also just
Sure, Karla with the
not
coffee.
to do too many spoilers, but we're shooting a salsa dancing episode, and when you were like, they're the normal ones in this episode, what I just watched of Karla was not normal. Being sort of the salsa coach, and she got very into it. It's great.
Nice.
But Karla, I was like, all these actors are great. Karla, I think, especially adds so much physicality to scenes that we didn't know were there. I mean, dating back to the pilot, if you remember, she's on a treadmill and just walking, and Karla added this thing where she stops and the treadmill takes her back, starts again, which was not in the script. There's just so much little fun stuff she finds in it.
Well, that's one of those things where like, no matter who's carrying the scene, it's so much fun to watch everyone else doing whatever their business is. And I'm telling, every week there is a Denise moment that absolutely lays me out flat. The line about vampire books.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how much of this is improvised? Because some of these lines are just so, like, they're little direct hits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I don't actually know what the percentage is of how much we improv gets into the show, but like, thankfully, this is a fun environment where we can improvise stuff, or I'll just like run stuff by Michael and John and be like, is this funny? Do you like this? And they're like, yes, try it. And that's my favorite way to work, because I love thinking on my feet and just like playing.
Well, some of it's improv of like dialogue, but also just improv of how to play. Like John and I, usually one of us goes down to rehearsal on the stages. We sort of switch off, and whoever comes up tells the other one like, oh, Sasheer did this take on this line that we didn't even think. It's so funny. Or Karla added this physical thing. So it's so fun to walk down and be surprised. Or like Topher totally screwed up that line. We got to rewrite it for him. Like there's some of that.
Put it out. Yeah.
And Sasheer, I know in the Christmas episode, we are meeting some of Denise's family, correct?
Oh, yeah.
We actually meet her in Thanksgiving.
Say who it is?
Thanksgiving. So what is her family like?
Ooh, well, Denise is like the hippy dippy part of her family. So the person, can I say who we're meeting?
I think, yeah. I mean, sure.
Okay, we're meeting my sister, and she's like an influencer type, and not as heartfelt as I would like her to be. So you actually get to see me be prickly, which is not nice, but like it's just an interesting dynamic to see because I'm usually the one who's calming everyone down, or I'm the peacekeeper in the Hayworth family. So to see my family enter this environment and bring out a negative vibe out of me will be a nice new energy to see for me.
Right, because the closest we've seen to that has been the book club situation.
Yes, yeah. When I'm passionate about something and anyone gets in my way, I get upset.
Right. And now, Topher, Tom has been compiling ideas for this book while doing a celebrity cookbook memoir kind of thing. Does the new book even have a title?
The book that the book that he's writing about his family?
Yeah.
Oh.
I always assumed that it would be called Home Economics, and that was kind of like a reveal, but I don't know.
I think that's what we were thinking. I mean, should we be blessed with the season 3? I think we will see the book coming out. And
nice designed cover, Home Economics. Yeah.
Oh.
It's just going to be the one sheet of you guys.
Is there any chance that we'll ever see an episode where these actors get to play the book version of their characters?
We talked about that. Topher has some casting ideas that are very delightful. And
I will say, maybe this is enticement to people watching to, keep our ratings up. But I would love if the book comes out and we get more seasons, maybe season 4, Tom options the book for a Hulu limited series. And then we have.
So I had that. The question was next was a movie franchise or Netflix series?
Well, Hulu's are.
Oh, no, Netflix. Whoa.
That's right. Hulu.
Yeah.
That way you can be in Hulu.
Family, please. Yeah.
But it would be great to not only see the Hollywood version of these characters within the show, but also see Tom's potential adventures in Hollywood as he, tries to get this made.
Yeah. I want to see this cast translate the book version of what Tom sees. Like what is Connor like in Tom's head?
All we know for sure is that Nora will play.
That's right.
The version, like the next door neighbor of their characters in the Halloween episode of the Hulu.
Nora is playing the Ellen.
Right. All right, so speed round kind of thing here. For all of you, who was your favorite TV family?
Oh, I mean, I'll start. Watching The Simpsons as a high schooler is probably what made me want to get into comedy writing. So I got to go with The Simpsons.
Oh, I think mine is the Belchers, Bob's Burgers. I think it's a perfect family dynamic. I love that show so much.
Are you just trying to point out how much younger you are than me? So it's like
how much what?
Younger you are, like Bob's
Burgers.
Yeah. I don't know The Simpsons. I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah. Caitlin had to go for the Gen Z choice.
Right, exactly. Carla, how about you?
I'm looking up.
You're Googling
family monsters. It's
the monsters.
Say the monsters. Yeah.
The monsters.
Just name a Mexican TV show that none of us have known, so you could just make it up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Chapulín Colorado.
There you go.
Totally.
Sasheer?
I was gonna say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Family Matters. I don't know which one I like more, but yeah, those are 2 good families.
Topher?
I would say Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, dang. Right,
just he had a vibe that is like just unbelievable.
Jimmy?
I like the Righteous Gemstones. They're my favorite family.
That is so on brand.
They really make me laugh. So many characters.
And John?
This family right here, you're looking at it. Best family.
All right, so a lot of the show is about money. I want to know from the actors, if anyone wants to share this, the dumbest thing you've ever spent too much money on.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say,
Jimmy can go first.
I thought you were going to say the actors want to share how much you guys make on the show.
Jimmy, you say what you spent money on first.
This stupidest thing is I probably shouldn't say that thing, but I mean, right when I first started making money from like YouTube, I bought a Dodge Challenger, and it just like after like a year, I just kind of started being really embarrassed of this really loud Dodge Challenger. I was like, I don't even want this kind of attention, and this car is like, I was like in bed, like driving around campus. Like, I'm sorry. I had like this subwoofer in it that I like never used. I got real embarrassed of that real fast.
Anyone else?
I spent a lot of money on
I had like a golden statue, literally of solid gold statue, life size, made of me, and I feel like it was just too much, you know.
That's an investment.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. I'll
for
melt that.
itself.
So sure, you were gonna say something?
Oh, I was gonna say I spent a lot of money on a rug. I consulted Karla and Caitlin about this as it was happening. Like there was this rug place nearby, and it was like family owned, and I was like, oh, I'll support local. This is great. And they did this service where they'll like audition the rug in your place. They like brought a bunch of rugs, and they're like, "What about this?" And I was like, "No!" Like I felt like a king. Like, get out of here! And then they put down the rug. And I was like, "That's it. It's perfect." And then there was no discussion about price before they put it in my home. And then they're like, "All right, that'll be thousands of dollars." And I was like, oh.
As you're saying this, it also looks like you're sitting on a throne. I just want to point out.
Yeah.
I also spent a lot of money on these chairs.
I'm gonna have to piggyback on that story because the most expensive and stupidest thing I've ever spent money on is washing rugs. So I did the same thing, called this company up. My house is full of Persian rugs. That's another story. But we were washing them, and I didn't think to ask how much it would cost. And of course, as they're bringing out these like water feeding kind of machines, I was like, how much are they? And they're like, $1 million. And I was just like, oh my God, I felt so stupid. I hated myself.
Same thing. Anyway. The golden statue I have is hard to clean. The dirt gets into the crevices and stuff.
Very highly detailed.
Highly detailed. Time, and I can attest, I had never done a rug washing thing before, Karla, and I just did it recently, and it was like, I might as well just buy a new rug. It's
right.
Charging like 75% of the price of this rug to just clean it.
You get a new rug and a charger. Caitlin?
I genuinely can't think of anything. I guess I'm a trash person. I don't have like nice stuff. I guess like vet bills, that's not one. I don't know. I just remember I let my dog eat something off the ground and I was like, I'm sure she'll be fine. And like $4,000 later, I was like, this was not fine. This is on me. So I guess that's a stupid thing, but it was for my dog's life. I don't have anything. I drive a really shitty car. Like, I don't know.
I could go again if you want, Kayla.
Yeah.
No, I just bought a cloud couch. I might as well have bought another Dodge Challenger.
Wait, what is a cloud
couch?
It's just a nice couch, but it's like, do you want a couch or do you want a Prius?
Yeah.
Right. Oh my
God. Does it save all your information?
What?
It's a cloud.
Cloud.
It's like where all your photos go.
It stores all his photos.
It stores all your photos. That's what you pay the big bucks for.
Yeah, that's what you paid.
Who is the first to reply to a group text?
Caitlin.
Maybe me. I think. Yeah. No, maybe I feel like Sasheer is first to like heart something. She's good at saying like, "Hey, I'm here," so that no one feels like left out in the lurch.
And then she comes back with the zinger. She has like the best joke
right.
at the end. Like, you know.
All right. Who sends the nastiest memes?
I didn't really send memes.
I feel like John's the big memes guy.
Yeah.
Right here.
John's always blasting off GIFs and memes. And...
nonstop.
Who would you call to bail you out of jail?
One of Jimmy's
Karla.
friends.
I was gonna say Karla or Jimmy because he's got a guy for everything. That's true. Like someone was flying over our set and he was like, "This guy that I know actually has a helicopter, and that's probably him."
All right. So the holidays are here. I know the Hayworths are doing a Secret Santa. Will the cast be doing the same?
Oh,
we got to talk about this. Actually, the answer is yes. We should definitely do that.
Actually, I have a little present for you guys. It's arriving tomorrow, so.
Rug cleaning.
Yes.
Me
I guess let's
too.
wait on that one.
Yes.
Now we got to get everyone a present. Come on, let's do a Secret Santa, guys.
No, it's because last time I didn't, and I felt so bad about it. Remember, Jimmy, how I cried? Because when Jimmy got them like champagne little bottles, I was like, okay.
But you keep using that as an example. Like it's always like when I saw that Jimmy brought something, that's when I knew. I feel like maybe you should use a different example. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys really are like a family.
God. No, but okay. Honestly though, to Jimmy's credit, he got me the sweetest thing for my wedding. It is an embroidered pillow with my dog's face, and I will, honest to God, treasure it forever. It was so sweet. So like he really is. He's so far from Connor. I can't explain that enough. Like he knew that I would love that. So that's to Jimmy's credit. He's a good gift giver.
All right. So for John and Michael, every family, every member of a family has kind of a role within that family. How would you describe these actors and their roles within your cast family?
Needy children.
What?
Needy children. One and all. One and all. Tired dad.
Yeah, I can't believe we're meeting you guys for the first time.
I was gonna say Topher's the dad, but then I realized me and John are the dad.
Yeah, you guys are the two dads.
Yeah.
But like, who's the peacekeeper?
Well,
among the cast?
I'm gonna go with Caitlin.
I think probably me.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
Who's the clown?
Jimmy.
Me.
Or
It's a
Sasheer.
family of clowns.
If by clowns,
yeah.
you mean a versatility with puns, I would go Sasheer.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That is, yes. That is very true.
Okay.
Puns.
Who's like the black sheep?
Like I don't know if there is one. They gel so well together. Probably one of the kid actors.
Oh, yeah, those are good. All right, so I need to wrap you guys, but I just want to thank you so much, first of all, for not just a great show, but coming at a time where we kind of needed a great, fun show, a family to connect with, because so many people, when you guys launched, like so many people weren't getting to spend time with their families. So you gave us something to hold on to, and then you had a shorter first season. This new season has been so great to watch kind of the world of the Hayworths kind of widen, but still keeping hold of that heart. So I want to thank you for that so much.
If it's okay, I'd just like to say thank you so much personally for your support, and also for the Paley Center for doing this. This is like, so I used to go to the Museum of Television Radio all the time, literally when I was like a teenager. So it's a real honor.
Yeah, well, this is a pleasure. And honestly, I can't wait to see more of this family and spend more time with you guys. Also, by the way, my family loves this show. This is a show that my older brother and I, like my older brother was asking me about. He's like, do you know about this show, Home Economics? It's hilarious. And my brother and I are very similar. And I was so excited that we had this bond about this show.
Who are you? Who are you in the show?
Yeah, you the Tom.
Yeah. I'm Tom. I'm the writer.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, I gotta go with that one.
The Connor. No one who's the Connor is actually like, I'm the Connor.
Yeah. The thing, Jimmy. Everyone wants to be a Connor, but most of us are a Tom or a Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right, well, thank you guys so much, and thank you all for joining us for this special Paley Front Row presented by Citi conversation with the wonderful cast of Home Economics. You can enjoy more of these programs by clicking on the subscribe button below. Thank you all, and take care. Have a great holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.